Thank you, Megan, and welcome to this month's CSols webinar entitled Managing Multi-Sourced Lab Informatics Projects. My name is Jeff Turnbull, and I am a delivery manager, one of a number of delivery managers at CSols. And
Jeff, can I interrupt you for a minute? Is your screen still on pause? I don't think our slides are changing. There we go. We can see it better now. Thank you.
Sorry about that. That was definitely operator error, whereas at our last thing, I believe it was GoToWebinar error. Anyway, as you can see from my bio up on the screen, I've been in the business for more than 25 years. I'm not going to tell you just how many more than 25 years I've been in the business, but I will tell you that during that time, I've worked with the vast majority of different lab informatics systems that are out there, including LIMS, ELN, chromatography data systems, scientific data management systems. I've also spent some of my career in the manufacturing sector, so I have a significant experience as well within ERP, manufacturing execution systems, and electronic batch record systems. My career has spanned a variety of different industries, including pharma, biotech, chemical, and petrochemical. And during that time, I have gained significant knowledge of lab and lab information processes and workflows. And probably most relevant to this webinar, I've managed a large number of informatics projects ranging from small, meaning a few $100,000, to large, meaning multi-million-dollar projects, ranging in complexity from the simple as you can get anyway within a lab informatics space, and to the highly complicated. So what we're going to be doing today is talking about some of the challenges that are presented by managing multi-source teams. So the premise of this webinar is that in order to meet deliverable targets, or because you don't have the in-house expertise, you're going to employ consultants from a variety of different contracting sources. As you can imagine, having people who are associated with different companies is likely to introduce some additional challenges to the management of the project, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So this is not a webinar on how to build and manage high-performance teams, nor is it a webinar on how to manage a lab informatics project. We cover those in some of our previous webinars, and likely to have coverage of those again in future ones. So what is this webinar? Well, really, it's a webinar on the additional management challenges and how to respond to them, of course, posed by utilizing a multi-source team. So the way we're going to tackle this issue is by, first of all, looking at some of the reasons why you would choose a multi-source team rather than do it internally, or rather than outsource the whole project to, say, perhaps the product vendor. We will then follow that up with a look at the typical types of teams that are established, and these teams are established independent of lab informatics project. They span all types of projects, and there's really two types of team. One, which is a task-focused team, so teams that know what they need to do, they can do it almost independently, and move through the project by ticking off the things that they need to do. And I'm going to compare that to relationship and task teams, and that's where not only are there individual objective and tasks, but also the team establishes a relationship and they become a true team. They work together as one, they help each other out. I will then move on from that and describe a typical project organization as it applies to most companies, and really you can look at it as a matrix organization, and I will address the additional challenges of utilizing consultants from other sources. We'll then get in and look at the specific challenges facing a team comprised of consultants from many organizations, and we'll look at that from team formation, team development, and team management. Penultimately, we will talk about, so what are the right characteristics or the characteristics of the right project manager for your lab informatics project? We will then finish up with a recap of what we've gone through today and follow that up with Q&A. So why multiple sources? Well, there's a variety of reasons that you may choose to utilize resources from multiple companies, and I'm going to try and address the most important of those right now. So when it comes to expertise, not only typically are you looking for specific product information. So again, a premise here is that you have selected your product, and what you want to be able to do is establish a team to implement it. So obviously, specific product knowledge is required. In addition to product knowledge, a lot of the lab informatics systems that are out there right now have various modules. So again, if you are planning on implementing a specific module, then ideally you would want to have expertise in that specific module. Oftentimes you can get all of this sort of expertise from the vendor, the product vendor that you have selected to be implemented in your environment.